Okay, so welcome to this video there on the DCG project 2024. Okay, so welcome to this video here on the DCG project 2024, alright, for ordinary and higher levels. So this video is just going to go through the brief, okay, that you would have received in school, alright. Okay, so first thing I'm going to say is I'm not going through the deadline date here on this. That's to do, okay, that's you and your teacher's thing, right? Okay, now, so instructions to candidate, alright, we're going to have to select one from the higher ordinary briefs. Okay, so if either assessment component is done, is submitted at ordinary level, you're graded at ordinary level. So you can't do a higher project an ordinary exam. Okay, well, look, you can do it, but there's no point in it. Okay, so if you do a higher project an ordinary exam, you don't get any more marks for doing a higher project, and vice versa. If you do an ordinary project and a higher exam, you don't get any extra marks for what you call it, a higher exam. Now, you have to make sure that your portfolio consists of two components. So you have to hand in a physical bound A3 copy. So physical bound A3 copy that is a maximum of 8 pages at ordinary level or a maximum of 10 pages at a higher level. If you go over 10 actual pages, okay, you will lose marks. Now note that it looks to be that this is a permanent change now with the subject. So it used to be 14 at higher level and 12 at ordinary, and was reduced with COVID, and now seems as if it's a permanent change. You then must include a USB flash drive. So in previous years it used to say CD as well, and now it's just a USB. Okay, and that contains your project, okay, and it's going to have your SolidWorks files on it and an electronic copy in PDF format. So no PowerPoint, Google Docs, okay, or Publisher, so on and so forth. They just want the PDF format. Now, alright, identified with your examination number there or name. Trust me, look, it'll be alright if they have your name. They've got your name and exam numbers too. That's when you'll get them. Right, you got to make sure that they're free from viruses. So just buy a new USB. Alright, just buy a new USB. And I must actually say, going back to point 3, you need to buy 2 USBs. Okay, so you need one for project and one for the school. So one has to stay in the school until the appeals process is done. Okay, so going back to number 5, just make sure there's no viruses on them. Just buy new USBs. Okay, and unfortunately the portfolio and USB are not returned, okay, at the end of the assessment. So you should maybe print second copy if you plan to use your portfolio for your admission to 3rd level. Alright, so for architecture or product design or something like that, you should use it there. Now, number 6, so in your sections 2 and 6, you must hand in your original freehand sketches. Okay, you're not allowed to hand in a photocopy or a scanned in copy of your sketches. You put in the original, okay, sketches into your bound A3 portfolio. Okay, so see, scanned images do not suffice. So just do as they say. This is like a Bible. Now number 7, which is a bit different to previous years now. So if I just go to number 7. Alright, or well, it's the equivalent of number 4 here. Sorry, no, it's not. It's the equivalent number 8 rather here. Now note how this paragraph gets bigger in this one. Alright? Reference and acknowledge all research sources. Okay, so they're not telling you you can't use a text from other sources or images. Okay, you need to acknowledge and reference, such as publications as books, professional journals, government reports, online sources, and other types of media. Now, in addition, look, so they're getting there. They're starting to cop on to what students are doing. To include them without properly references will be considered plagiarism. In addition, the copy in form of reproduction may from such sources may also be considered plagiarism. So I think what they're getting at there is other companies may hit you. So I'd be referencing my work, and if you copy it there and pretend it's your own, you won't get any marks. Now trust me, look, these people will be smart at it there. They'll, you're not going to copy these, just reference the work. Now, the coursework must be presented in an attractive manner. So no dirty pages, no crumpled pages, no just staples. Okay, nice, neat, or borders on our SolidWorks sheets. So far, a good back on it, bounded on the left hand side. Okay, for USB, see, bound, a nice plastic sleeve at the front to protect it from dirt. Alright, and there we go. Right, so we're on to our next page. So when we're submitting our USB, we must have one main folder. DCG SA, exam number, initials, date of birth. Okay, and the main folder referred to above must contain two subfolders. So one of these subfolders, will contain all the pages of the completed assignment in PDF format, and the other folder will have two subfolders, which you will name Part A and Part B, and it'll have the SolidWorks files. So I'm just going to go through that now. So here's one I've done from last year. So it'll be our DCG SA 2024, and in our brackets our exam number, our date of birth, initials and date of birth. Alright, and then we go into this, we're going to have two new folders. Right, let's give us a moment there. So portfolio, in PDF format. Okay, and this time we won't say portfolio in electronic format to what I've done in previous years. We'll say in PDF format to remind ourselves. New folder, SolidWorks files, and then we go into this new folder again, Part A, and Part B, and then that's our folders part done. Now, don't include other USB or files on the USB. So for example, a PowerPoint, a publisher, or a Google SketchUp of your construction model that you've forgotten to take out. And all the CAD files must be in SolidWorks format. And you need to indicate the version of SolidWorks you've done on your front cover of your design portfolio. Now you need to make sure that all the files in your USB work properly and are there. Okay, and you lose marks for failing to adhere to the filing structure outlined there. Okay, for protection, we need to put our USB in a protective sleeve or envelope and should be fixed to the bound edge on the inside of the inside cover of the design portfolio, so on the inside. And a backup copy has to be what you call it, kept by the school. You have to do your own work, and it has to be completed in school under supervision of your teacher. Don't remove it from the school. Don't do that. Okay, it's not worth the risk. Trust me, it happens in schools. Okay, and they do get caught, so I wouldn't be doing it. Right? And there we go. So have a quick read of that. Finally, have a note. Okay, that down here, see at the end there, right? This year, this is something new. Okay, so people getting others to do their work or bringing it home is happening more. So, like, if you get someone to help you, they're under a risk of something, and if you're caught, you may lose your mark. So that's a year's work. So don't do that. Okay, so this is the ordinary level student assignment. So we've got, okay, portable mirrors can be easily moved around the home. So easily moved. So one of the things that dictate this is the size and the weight, right, and the shape. They dictate being easily to move. Why am I stopping at every word there? It's to help you figure out things to speak about while in future for your project. So around the home due to their size and shape. What can they be used for? Personal grooming, okay, including hairstyling, shaving, applying makeup, etc. So you need to think of other uses. It's not limited to. Okay, portable mirrors can be freestanding or handheld or have suction cups. Now these three words are great as they widen okay, mirrors to have a look at. Okay, some mirrors can be folded so they have a hinge to make them more compact, or can include integrated lights. Right, so why would they have that additional function of integrated lights, i.e. maybe to see makeup or so on and so forth. Part A, carry out a design investigation, okay, of existing portable mirrors in graphic formats. So you're going to look at existing portable mirrors and you're going to examine them under the keywords of size, shape, folded, suction cups, weight, okay, use, alright, physical and, so you're going to examine them and include analysis of their physical forms and shapes, the solid use. So these more features, so such as your integrated lights, your hinges, okay, are they freestanding or compact, the materials used in making them, and etc. Right, so you want to add your own if you want to do well. Okay, and part B, show graphically how you would physically modify a chosen portable mirror to improve its overall design, okay, or develop and graphically communicate a new concept design for a portable mirror based on a selected team or target market, so specific individuals. Now, statistically proven, this option does better, but it's not 100%, but I would go for developing new. So the allocation of marks is part A is 110 marks, part B is 50 marks. Now, okay, the outline of the marking, the headings. Okay, right, just let's note a little thing here. Presentation, thought process, reflection and factor of difficulty. Okay, so you don't, like, you want to give yourself some difficulty. difficulty. And if you pick an easy object, say in your SolidWorks, model it very well. Like, don't just get a circular mirror that just goes around your hand and say, oh, that's my portable mirror. That's laziness, you know. Pick an object with objects with a bit of detail to them. It doesn't have to be complicated detail, just has to have detail. So I'll put one there: design research and design feature comparison. So exploration of brief, the words here that we underline, okay, and present our findings in graphic format. Okay, select two artifacts and illustrate the main design features. Okay, now these should be physical ones that we can actually get our hands on. Okay, we have to insert our main dimension when we sketch these out, and we have to compare and contrast the main design features of each artifact, i.e. like a hinge or integrated lights or suction cups. Compare and contrast. So compare them, make a decision on which one is better, and give a reason, or make a decision on why they are different and give a reason. Both using suitable freehand sketches and other presentation techniques. Okay, output 5. So our analysis of brief, so problems and key findings from part A, and graphic illustration of our possible solutions. Justification for your chosen solution. So you got to say why did you choose your solution. Output 6, presentation of modification of a concept design. So detailed graphical presentation of the modification or concept design. So we go with the, try to go with the new. This should include a rendered freehand presentation, quality drawn in 3D format. So it's like what you call it, output 2. So here's an example, just it is at a higher level now, in fairness, but this is something what you're doing. You're freehand sketching your presentation. Now output 7 is your CAD model, and it's a part or an assembly and a drawing file. So you can have one part or an assembly and arrangement of part files. And you must print out the hard copies to include appropriately detailed orthographic and rendered pictorial views. So the keyword rendered is that they have the color in them. Okay, and it just has to be 1 to 2 pages. Okay, now unlike in many previous years, so pre-COVID, so the 2020 project had already been released, students do not have to do a rendered pictorial view. So in previous years, okay, they had to put in at ordinary level, they had to put in these pictorial views or rendered photorealistic views rather, but they don't have to put them in now. So while this project was from 2020, I'll give you a quick look at kind of what we're doing. Okay, so this was design research. Look, using the pictures they've done for themselves for your, okay. Now our output 1, okay, is design research and compare and contrast. So these, while it says output 2 there from an old project, that's all output 1 now. Okay, and look the way they put in suitable freehand sketches and the main dimensions, and compared the main design features of the phone, like the speakers, the volume buttons, the power button. Okay, now our output 2, okay, so this is our output 2, is rendered freehand sketches. Okay, now this could be better. It is good, the sketches aren't bad, but it could have more notes on it. Look at the underlying geometry. Okay, the page is a bit blank, but it's good. Here's our output, 4 hard copy drawings, so a rendered pictorial view, our detailed orthographic views, okay, exploded views, very good. Now you don't have to do that page there anymore. This is our output 5. Okay, so we need to select a theme or target market, and for us this is our output 6. We're presenting our chosen solution. What's missing in this is the render. Okay, it needs to be a rendered 3D freehand sketch. Okay, sorry, that was part of their output 5. Sorry. Okay, so that was part of their output 5. This is their output 7. Okay, good sketch. Page is a bit blank though. Could communicate more about the object. And there's their SolidWorks files. Okay, right, and the referencing I suppose needs to step up. Thank you. Okay, so our higher level assignment, so desk lights, for example, can be used to create different atmospheres and ambiances by controlling the level and type of light in a room. Right, so wall mounted doesn't count. So it's a light, we're looking at a light that sits or stands on a desk. Right, now create different atmospheres and ambiances. So study light, okay, is completely different to a dim light sitting on your desk there that you read by. So the bright light of the study is to get you awake, get you focused, get you being able to see the text, okay, and focus the light in on a specific area of the page. The dim lights for reading, okay, can make you feel relaxed and get you into a bedtime routine. And the type of light in a room: workplace, social setting. So study, okay, library or research work, we'll say academic work. Social setting, restaurant there, dim light, get the mood relaxed, have food, have fun. They can be used for a variety of activities, including reading, studying, social media content, like the lights around your computer desk for doing a bit of YouTubing of your FIFA, okay, or of your Call of Duty, or other recreational interests like arts and craft, okay, interests. The underlying geometry of a desk light, that's a brilliant one, alright, has an influence on its functionality. That's class one. If we look at this one, I'm sure we've seen something similar like these desk lights there. You might see them in a hallway, on a desk there in your study there for just a bit of reading, or there on a desk there, a table there beside your sitting room. Okay, they're not really effective functioning for studying. They provide low levels of light, okay, so they do for a bit of reading or for a bit of calming down. There when you're watching a bit of TV, you don't want a strong light. Okay, you see the geometry, okay, the shape is just tall, okay, rigid stem on it there, whereas you go to different ones there for study lamps, okay, like for example my own one here, okay, the conical shape of the shade and the flexible stem mean I can adjust the focus of the light, and this makes it far more suited to studying. So it does, because I can control where I put the light and shine it directly on, where the geometry of the previous one, the older one, have a lot less flexibility to. Now, target market, so people that use it, and aesthetics, right? Okay, aesthetics, how it looks. Desk lights come with a variety of power sources. Okay, so we've moved on now from just a socket in the wall. Controls, light fittings, and some include additional features like colors and frequency of the lights. Okay, why? Okay, look at an etc. Is there any more you can have? And now these are important words. All these words here drive the project. People think each year the project changes from desk lights this year to alarm clocks last year, to travel mugs in 22, to sat navs in 21, to headsets in 20, drones in 19, mouses, computer mouses in 18, and so on and so forth. They don't really. It's the words in here in the brief, and words like physical form, shape, geometry, materials that drive the project every year. It's part A, carry out design investigation. So we're going to have to look into the design of existing desk lights in graphic format. So use real pictures that you take, avoid overusing the internet. Sketches, CAD models, or technical drawings. Alright, and your investigation should include analysis of physical form, shapes, geometry. So these three are linked together, are solids, shapes, sizes, angles. Alright, they're linked together, all these. And are the materials used, plastics, woods, metal, innovation. So if there are any unique features, like going back to colors, frequency, like frequency of lights, like in a nightclub they can flash, right, and that gives you this mood that you're wired on edge, like, or at a disco, etc. So you want to come up with your own words. And part B is show how you would physically modify a chosen desk light to improve its overall design, or develop and graphically communicate. So with sketches, and pictures, mainly sketches you want to be going with, a new concept design for a desk light based on a selected theme or target market. So is it for an age group, or example a specific purpose? Like a drafts person, has it got a theme of sports, music, or games, or kind of to get, while it doesn't solely help, or it doesn't fiercely improve someone's skill at doing their particular hobby, i.e. arts, might be geared towards someone using a desk lamp for arts, just for that feeling or connection in it. Right, so we'll go the marks 160 in comparison to ordinary is 110 and 50. Now we want to go through this. So design research, output 1, design research and design feature comparison. Exploration of brief and presentation of existing artifacts in graphic formats. So you're using primary and secondary research. Primary is what you do yourself. Secondary research is text or images you take from books, government journals, papers, so on and so forth. Don't forget your referencing. Now we'll look at an example of a previous assignment in 2022. Now you do not have to do a timeline. You do not have to do that. Alright, I think we were asked for a timeline in 2022. I'm not saying you must do a timeline this year, because it doesn't ask for it. Just to point that out, everybody thinks they have to do a timeline. I'm not saying you do. We've looked at existing objects in graphic format, so plenty of images. In our design research here, plenty of images here. Keywords, materials, physical form, features, all these coming from our brief. So all coming from our brief. Now select 2 images, or I like to say 2 artifacts. You need to select 2 from your design research. Basically, if they're not in your design research, we can't progress on to our design feature comparison. So look here, our design, compare and contrast our design feature comparison. Look, this Bodrum one is here, just the lid is the opposite way around. Okay, and this thermos one is up here, right? That's important. Okay, and you want to really clearly outline that. Then you've got to insert the main dimensions. So insert the main dimensions, illustrate and explain the main design features. So what the main design features are, like power sources, screw mechanisms for the light, okay, adjustment mechanisms for angles, okay, and then you have to compare and contrast. So that means you make a decision between them. Okay, how do they exactly differ? Why do they exactly differ? And what influence does that have on a person's choice, right? And then it says using suitable freehand sketches and other presentation techniques. So using both freehand sketches and other presentation techniques. So you need to include freehand sketching and other presentation techniques. Look, there's a SOLIDWORKS model, there's a picture. Don't forget to insert your main dimensions. You forget to do that, you lose marks. Output 2 is our freehand graphical representation. A little bit different this year. Alright? A little bit different here. We have to choose one artifact from our design feature comparison. We have to make a detailed graphical presentation of this artifact. So detailed, so it's not just one drawn on the page. To include an exploration of the underlying geometry, so that's new this year. So you want to be kind of talking about what are the solids and shapes and angles in this. Okay, solid, that's new, okay, in what they're asking this year. It must include a rendered 3D freehand graphical representation. So it must include a rendered freehand presentation, quality drawn in 3D format. So you're not limited to one 3D sketch that's rendered, which I'd say a lot of people get confused on. Okay, you can also add in a technical drawing or a 2D sketch. You just must include a rendered 3D quality drawing. Now, part 3, a detailed computer model comprising at least 5 parts, but no more than 10. You go under or over the part numbers, you're going to lose marks. It's just a tick on the box. And you must include an assembly, a drawing and an e-drawing of the selected artifact. Now, you're modeling what you put in output, what you drew in output 2. So I'll show you now. So our computer model, okay, is here. That's an assembly, and it's just contained on our USB. Okay, it's contained in our USB. There should be an assembly, drawings. There should also be an e-drawing, which the Spartan just didn't have. Okay, and there should be, what else? Should be all organized in the right files. So I'll go, look, we'll read through this again. So, economy of design, design intent, and the required filing structure. So your Part A files are in your Part A folder, nowhere else. Absolutely nowhere else. Okay, and there's no, alright, images, or sorry, I won't say images, but there's no other files like PowerPoints in there, left in there, or a Google SketchUp file left in there of your construction project that I've honestly seen happen. And you lose marks or you get marks for your filing structure. Now, economy of design, design intent. What do they mean? How smart did you make these things? So, for example, All right, did you spend all day modeling this, like the text here? Did you model the text all with different letters, doing letter each individual way, or did you give it one go? All right, could you mirror any components, so on and so forth, to make your life easier? For the screw threads, could you use a combine command to put the screw threads into the flask here? And while I think of it, I just want to look at one thing here: factor of difficulty. This does not mean, okay, that you have to pick complex object. Factor of difficulty means that you pick something simple and do it well. Okay, that there is, okay, a simple object that really does have, you know, tricky modeling things in it there, like the thread, or, you know, you're using a shell, okay, or a revolve with a thin wall inside it, or a cavity rather. Right, here's an example of a desk light that I would not pick. Okay, now just try and get it now here, add it there, like there's one. Don't go near them. Okay, don't go near them. That's madness. So it is, like, there you'd just be killed making them, so you would. That's insane. Right, look, you can pick an ordinary desk light and do it very well. So you can do it very well, trust me. That one is perfect. So it is. There's plenty of hard work in that, but it's not insane like what I just showed you. That would be hardship. Okay, now, so our hard copy output, detailed orthographic views, our elevation plan and hidden details. So that's just pressing print. It's just pressing print on our SolidWorks drawing. So our detailed orthographic views, render pictorial view. This here doesn't say it has to be rendered, and an exploded view. So this here doesn't say it has to be rendered. So we can see our text here. Now, our part B, and our part B doesn't start once we go to output 5. Really, it started when we started part A, because we started looking at the problems that we were finding. Look, presentation, thought process, reflection. Big word there, reflection. Like, what have you learned from your part A? So analysis of brief, okay, and graphical illustration of possible solutions. So how can you design, all right, a light that will reflect on the keywords here? Like, what problems did you find out doing this? Like, what were the bad things about lamps? What were the good things? Now, justify, so it has to be in, you have to illustrate your solutions or possible solutions in graphics. So output 5, and you remember, don't forget your theme or target market. And we have to develop out our design, okay, graphically. So our sketches, 2D drawings, or parts CAD models is all right. Do not forget to justify why you chose your design, okay, based on aesthetics, functionality, and sustainability. So how it looks, right? You always want something to look nice. How well it works, all right? So you don't have to. So concept design, you don't actually have to have it working, right? So you need to think about how it works, and you need to push to ensure that you have reasonably thought about how well it would work. But what I'm trying to say is, if you have a theory on coming up with a design, you're really sure that it'll work, and a product designer comes and says that won't work, you're okay. You just have to think, how well can the light work, okay, and function. And sustainability. So is it financially sustainable, where are the materials coming from? Is it the most efficient use of size and parts, okay, and time? So again, an example here. And try not, like this, I think sometimes can be coming a repeat from everybody what they do, so we'll have to really look at trying to make it better. Now output 6 is our detailed graphical presentation of design modification or concept design. This should include a rendered freehand presentation, quality drawing in 3D format. But again, you're not limited to. This is similar to output 2. Okay, notice now in output 6 there's no mention of exploration of underlying geometry. I'm just putting that out there, it's not mentioned. Probably because you've looked at it in your output 5. Now, so here we go, it's rendered, alright, and it's our presentation of our concept design. You can include 2D sketches, so you can. And you could include technical drawings here on your outside. Okay, you just have to include a rendered quality 3D drawing. Now, output 7. So our CAD model, parts or / assembly. So that means a part or assembly and drawing and associated hard copies to include appropriately detailed orthographic rendered pictorials. I'm just going to stop now. So there's our SOLIDWORKS model of our concept design. We get our drawings then. Remember, our part B is in our part B. Okay. Now, here's our detailed orthographic views. Okay, rendered pictorial is there. Okay, there's no exploded view in this, but you're not limited. You can still put it in if you want. And photorealistic view or photorealistic views to communicate our chosen design. Photorealistic render. So there we go. And then we want to, don't forget to put in our referencing. Now our referencing has to step up. Okay, I think we now have to create the correct referencing techniques, or not, I think we do have to. So just writing there on your reference page Google Images won't work right anymore. So we have to get it right. Okay, and I think that's going to be a big difference, guys. If you want to get a H1, you're going to have to do that. Now, before we go, reminder. Okay, so we've got DCG, online DCG classes. Okay, starting every Monday from the 10th of September, 8 PM to 9 PM sharp. Okay, there's my details there. Note, classes advise you how to complete the project. Remember, you can't, oh, sorry, that it confuses there. You cannot submit anything you do outside of school and supervision to your teacher. Okay, so anything you do with me is only an approach on how you could complete the project, and you can't submit it. Alright, so I'll just be advising you what you could do. It would be more like a lecture. I'm not going to ask you to write, okay, or I'm not going to ask you, okay, to do follow me something on SOLIDWORKS. You can if you want, but you can practice your projects within the classes with me, and then you can redo it in school. Okay, and I'm not going to do your project for you. I'll advise. I think that's important there, that we all do it fair, even though certainly I know if it was in your shoes, yeah, what I'd be thinking. But anyways, that's there for you if you want it. Right, thank you.